Today, I'm coming to you to talk to you about peeing during the night. So, first of all, is this normal or not? So, I'm going to start out by saying for most of us, this is not a normal activity. So, unless you are pregnant and have a nice little baby pushing down on your bladder and taking up room, that would be a time where, yes, getting up at night to pee is normal. And the other time is when we get over 65 to over 70 years old, it is normal to get up and urinate 1 to maybe 2 times a night. Otherwise, the rest of us should be sleeping through the night and not getting woken up by our bladder to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night. Now, many of us get woken up for other reasons. Our kids get us up, or we have aches and pains that are getting us up, and we happen to just go to the bathroom just because we're up. But that is not exactly the same situation that I'm talking about that. So what I'm saying is that for most of us, our bladder should not be waking us up at night. We should be sleeping 7 to 8 hours and be able to get up and get to the bathroom in time in the morning after a full night's sleep. So if you are getting up at night to pee, or worse yet, you're getting up and having trouble making it to the bathroom in time at night, there are some things that you can do to help with this. So first, as we are trying to maybe prevent getting up at night to pee, some things that you can do include that you can limit your fluid intake starting about 2 hours before you're going to go to bed. Especially want to make sure we're not taking in any type of bladder irritant, such as a caffeinated drink, drinks with artificial flavors and sweeteners, alcohol. All of those would be things that would potentially irritate the bladder. But in general, if we're trying to stop or eliminate us getting up at night to pee, we want to stop our fluid intake about 2 hours before we go to bed. If you do have to take medication before you go to bed, then simply take a cup of water with that, but trying to limit the other fluids that you're taking in before that time. The other thing that you can do to try and eliminate that is to make sure that you do empty your bladder fully before you do go to bed. So last thing before you go to bed is make sure that you sit down and even take some slow, deep breaths on the toilet. Spend a little bit of extra time there to make sure that you get a nice, complete empty of the bladder before you get in bed at night. Okay, so those are 2 things that you can do to help set yourself up for a better situation if your bladder is currently waking up at night, and that is to eliminate drinking fluids or stop drinking fluids about 2 hours before you go to bed, and to sit down and have the last thing that you do before you go to bed is to empty your bladder. Okay, so now what happens if it's the middle of the night and your bladder is waking you up to go to the bathroom? What can you do in that situation? Well, first is don't respond to the urge right away. If you get woken up by your bladder, there's some things that you can do to suppress these urges and help you maybe go back to sleep. Okay, so if you're woken up, don't sit up, stay laying down in bed, and start taking 5 to 10 really slow, deep breaths in and out, and see if that can make the urge go away. Another thing that you can try is to do some light Kegel exercises. So Kegel exercise is a gentle contraction of the pelvic floor muscles. So gently contract and relax the pelvic floor back and forth, again, maybe about 5 to 10 times, and see if that helps the urge go away. Again, you're doing this all in laying down because we don't really want to wake our body up fully. We want to see if we can just get this urge to go away and go back to sleep. So we've tried 5 to 10 deep breaths, 5 to 10 quick, gentle Kegel exercises. Another thing that can be helpful is putting some direct pressure over the perineum, over the crotch area. So if this is something that's commonly happening to you, what I recommend is keeping a small towel roll on your nightstand so that you can grab that towel roll and put it in between your legs and put a little bit of pressure over your crotch, because that pressure can in turn get the bladder to kind of calm down a little bit. It's why you see little kids do the pee-pee dance and they're kind of grabbing their crotch and crossing their legs. They think they're holding the pee in, but it's actually that nice pressure over the area stimulates a reflex loop that says, hey, it's not time to go to the bathroom. So there you have it, 3 things that you can try. Pressure over the perineum, over the crotch area, slow, deep breaths, and pelvic floor muscle contractions, some gentle Kegel exercises back and forth. And the fourth thing that you can try is distraction. So laying there thinking, I've got to go to the bathroom, I've got to go to the bathroom, you're going to have to go to the bathroom. So, start counting backwards from 100 by sevens, or say the alphabet backwards, or, count sheep. Anything that you can do to try and take your mind off of it might help. So if you try these and the urge goes away, go back to sleep. Don't get up and go to the bathroom. If you try them and the urge still persists, then what you want to do, especially if you're worried about not making it to the bathroom in time, you want to do a nice contraction of the pelvic floor, sit up on the edge of the bed, make sure that you feel like your pelvic floor is there and supporting you, and then stand up and walk to the bathroom, okay? We don't want to make a mad dash to the bathroom trying to hold our crotch and see if we can make it there in time. We want to make sure that everything is under our control and we make there slowly and calmly, okay? Oftentimes, especially if people are getting up 3, 4, 5 times a night, you're not going to be able to get it back to 0 times a night right away. This is going to be a process. So it may be that slowly and surely we get rid of some of the time. So you go from 4 times a night to 3 times a night practicing these techniques, and then from 3 times a night to 2 times a night, and then back down to 1 time a night. And some people this works well enough for them that they can get rid of it completely. So again, as a quick recap, unless you are pregnant or 70 years and older, it is not normal to get up at night to have to pee, okay? If you are trying to prevent this from happening, you want to stop your fluid intake about 2 hours before you go to bed, and you want to try and void your bladder right before you go to bed. If you do get woken up in the middle of the night to urinate, before you even sit up while you're laying down in bed, you might want to try one of these 4 techniques, or it may be a combination of all of them. Putting pressure over the crotch or perineum with a small pillow or a towel roll, taking 5 to 10 slow, deep breaths in and out, or doing 5 to 10 quick, gentle Kegel exercises, so contraction and relaxation of the pelvic floor. And then also using a distraction technique such as counting backwards from 100 by 7 or saying the alphabet backwards. Those are all things that you can try to help make sure that you're not dealing with nighttime urgency and frequency. If you're trying these and for some reason they're not working for you, then reach out and connect up with your healthcare provider, because partnering with a pelvic physical therapist might be a good option for you to help make sure that you are getting a much more restful and solid night's sleep and that your bladder is not controlling your sleep cycle.